Yo, Donnie, what's up, bro? So looky here, looky here, looky here. Oh my goodness. Looky here. Yes, David, looky here. Another scammer. Well, we're not gonna get all the scammers. Some of the scammers will do. Half of the scammers, even more than half would do. But at least we got some scammers here. Some of them, they're getting their paperwork done, fingerprints, you know, hopefully the stinking ass passport's taken. You know what I'm saying? I need a link to that song. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? Um, send me hop in the back chat and send me your email, bro. Even if you don't want to come up, and then I'll send it to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Check this out. Yeah, definitely, Donnie. I'll do that, man. It's a really great rendition by Backyard Band. And they do a lot of great renditions. I mean, some of them a lot of them I can't play because of copyright infringements. As a matter of fact, there's really one. If you're really into go-go, it have some classic thing. Go-go have some classic things in it, and one of the things outside of the congos and the percussions, the rototons and things like that, and the live arrangements, the other thing that it has is it has some very unique effects, sound effects that they use. And what's up, Fight Doctor? And you know what? I'm going to give you a link if you want to hear that. I can't play it, but anybody with YouTube can play it. Um, what's that song by Adele called "Hello"? Is it "Hello" by Adele? Right? Well, they did a rendition, but it's copywritten, of course. So I can't play it. I can't play it, but I'm gonna put the link in there right now for anybody because this is a good example of the effects that Go-Go uses. They have some special effects, and what I mean by special effects is like these type of effects they've been using are Go-Go coined effects. Like they've been using them for like since Go-Go began for like 30, 40 years, 40 years. So all the go-go bands know these kind of effects and they use them, and it's very particular to go-go. But check it out. That's Adele, Hello, is it whatever. You'll hear that. But check this out, man. Check this out, y'all. Um at least somebody got put in somebody got the fingerprints done. Let me see here. I think it says something like Donald Trump ass locked up. Let me go and find out what it says. Trump arrest. Full recap. Yeah, let's go to YouTube. Let's go to YouTube and watch his arrest. So let me see here. If I go over to here, and then I also go to, let me put it on here. Sorry. Let me put that up on the screen. If I take this back, oh, not the video file. Sorry. Put this up more here. Let me see. Video file. No, screen. Share screen. Be right. Let me go to this one. Can y'all see this? Okay, let me remove this real quick. The Trump thing up here. This picture is blocking everything. Let me see. Where the heck is it, man? Yeah, let me hide this one. Now y'all should probably okay. So so let me go over here and type in first of all, turn this shit down. And type in Donald Trump arrested and see what happens. Okay, I want to go like this. Donald Trump arrested. Come on, show us something. Here we go. Now there's a video of his ass, I think, going into the damn jail, man. I want to see the jail itself. I saw some pictures. Oh, right. Well, maybe we get to see him coming out of jail. This might be funny. Uh, I want to see the prison too, but let's start off with this funny bullshit. Excuse my language. Yeah. All right. Hope y'all can see this. Let me skip the ad, turn it up.
Being here. I really believe this is a very sad day for America. This should never happen. you challenge an election, you should be able to challenge an election. I thought the election was a rigged election, a stolen election, and I should have every right to do that. As you know, you have many people that you've been watching over the years do the same thing, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Stacey Abrams or many others. When you have that great freedom to challenge, you have to be able to, otherwise you could have very dishonest elections. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows it. I've never had such support. And that goes with the other ones too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election. There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning. And this is one instance, but you have three other instances. It's election interference. So I want to thank you for being here. We did nothing wrong at all. And we have every right, every single right, to challenge an election that we think is dishonest, that we think it's very dishonest. So thank you all very much, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.
Did you pardon yourself?
How is this different from the previous time?
Wow, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Now,
And obviously, the headline is the mugshot, the booking, the surrendering. But what's next? What are the legal maneuvers next? What are the dates?
it's good to have somebody with a voice like this on your side from time to time, just to rub it in, make it a little irritating. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like also in the same face with the same visuals as the person going behind bars. It really works. So let's see here.
To look for, and what exactly is this former president facing, especially with all the other different trials and indictments that he's dealing with. But in Fulton County, there are so many different co-defendants, so many different mugshots, so many different screaming headlines. But as Joe points out, what's the main?
David, what's up, man? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Free Trump. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, hey, man, you're gonna get some. I put it to you like this: I won't stop anywhere. Anywhere they need to be thrown in jail, let's go for it.
What's the main issue here facing this former president?
Well, the main issue is to Joe's point, the avalanche of criminal charges, the dizzying array of proceedings. It's hard for people to get their arms around this. Most of us have never been defendants in a single white-collar criminal indictment, let alone four. These kinds of in a single white. It's hard for people to get their arms around this. Most of us have never been defendants in a single white-collar criminal indictment, let alone four. These kinds of cases, they take a lot of mental energy to devote to defending oneself, even if you're not devoting substantial time to your own defense. You have to consult with your lawyers. You have to be in courtrooms. Now, look, this Fulton County case,
Shit, they never heard of a polite arrest. That takes a lot of mental energy, man.
even though co-defendant Kenneth
Also, debates about if rape is permitted in the Bible or not, and can the victim be be complicit in it? That takes up a lot of mental energy. But
Cheesebro has asked for a speedy trial, and the DA, Fani Willis, has said she's ready to go to trial in October. Donald Trump's not going to do that. And nobody I talk to thinks that this is going to be the first case or even the second case to go to trial among the four. But on Monday, guys, in Washington, D.C., there's going to be a hearing before Judge Tanya Chutkan, and she's going to set a trial date in the other election interference case brought by Jack Smith. And that's the one that most people I talk to think may go to trial as early as next summer, because Donald Trump's the only defendant. It's less complex. They're ready to go. And so this is going to get real rather quickly. And then just back to the Fulton County, the mugshot situation, I think what's so interesting about what happened last night is that, the Fulton County sheriff, an elected Democrat, told our Blaine Alexander that he wasn't sure until the last minute, really, whether he was going to go forward with that mugshot. Because as you recall, in all the other bookings, two federal and one in New York, authorities determined that they didn't need to do a mugshot because the purpose of a mugshot is to, to be able to publicize a person's image if they flee. Well, that wasn't going to happen here. And besides, there are 1.5 million photos of Donald Trump. So the federal government, the marshals, used an existing photo for the booking photo. In the end, the Fulton County folks decided they were going to treat him like any other defendant in that respect. And that was what was so jarring about that procedure. The other bookings and arraignments took place in courthouses. This one was in the Fulton County Jail, a notorious jail that is, the stuff of rap lyrics. It's under federal investigation. It's a nasty place where inmates have died under questionable circumstances. Now, he wasn't in the cells, but, he had to go through that place where there's signs saying, inmates this way. And he had to go through the indignities. I don't believe he actually was weighed. We're told that that his staff filled out that form in advance, which is why he's listed at a height of 6'3", 215, which probably hasn't been since the Wharton School of Finance, as he said there. But nonetheless, a sobering a moment, really different from the other cases. And whatever happens in this Fulton County case, it's a reminder that, this is the one that he can't pardon himself on, that he has maybe less control of, and it's a bit of a wild card, guys.
I got some commentary coming up after this real quick.
Well, it was a very sobering moment. I mean, one of the few moments of levity provided by Donald Trump's staff, self-reported weight and height. I've stood next to him many times. I'm about 6'4". Maybe he's 6'1". Maybe he's 6'1.5", 6'2". He's a good bit shorter, but his staff reported him at 6'3", and ended a fighting weight of 215. That would be like if my staff reported me. Describe Mr. Scarborough's appearance. He looks a lot like Robert Redford in 1974. Wildly off. So I'm not going to tell you where the over-under is on Donald Trump's weigh-in, but it's a good... let's just say it's a good 70 or 80 pounds higher than what the staff reported. But Willie, I'm sure you would describe me as looking like Robert Redford in about 74. But I don't know about Donald Trump at 215.
Kid era. Yeah,
exactly.
Right
Yes.
Right in there.
With or without the mustache. Yes.
I like you with the stash. I also like the self-reporting of strawberry blonde hair. I thought that was a nice flourish as well, instead of just saying blonde.
Strawberry blonde.
Yeah. He really went for it. He really went for it. He also can use a bail bondsman like anybody else would. Foster's bail bonds in Lawrenceville, Georgia, where you paid 10%. His bond was $200,000. Not sure exactly what he paid, but went for it. He also can use a bail bondsman like anybody else would. Foster's bail bonds in Lawrenceville, Georgia, where you paid 10%. His bondsman went for it. He really went for it. He also can use a bail bondsman like anybody else would. Foster's bail bonds in Lawrenceville, Georgia, where you paid 10%. His bond was $200,000. Not sure exactly what he paid, but it was in those ways, the ways you just described, once you got through the motorcade and he got there, it was pretty quick and routine in the way these things go. I'm curious about trial dates here, Ken, because Kenneth Chesebro, one of the co-defendants, an attorney for Donald Trump, put in a motion for a speedy trial, and DA Fani Willis came back and said, sure, how's October 23rd? Let's get this thing going. How do we interpret that move?
Well, that was a be careful what you wish for moment. Fani Willis is ready to go to trial. She's been investigating this thing for 2 years. Presumably, they have not just investigated the case, but prepared their trial strategy, considered their witness list. But here's the thing. Donald Trump is not going to go to trial in October. He's fighting. He doesn't want a speedy trial in this case. And a lot of legal experts I talked to fear that because of the number of defendants in this case in Fulton County, it really could get bogged down. There's a racketeering case that Fani Willis is prosecuting right now where it's taken 8 months and they still haven't picked a jury. Unfortunately, this office doesn't have a great track record of getting cases to trial quickly. And, the lawyers in this one are going to take every opportunity, apparently, except for Mr. Chesebro, to slow things down, because for Mr. Trump, delay is victory. All
right. Let me see here. Well, one thing that stands out to me is that damn, what was that? Can y'all hear me? Yeah, okay, everything's good. I don't know what that was. Yeah, okay. One thing is it my shirt? Oh, it's my phone. I see. One thing that stands out to me is that there's a new precedent. There's a precedent here, and that is that he's been booked. He's actually been booked in a jail. With the same rules applying. And, as far as I'm concerned, that should be a signal that it's also possible this dude could go to prison. And the reason why I say that is because the same way that he could be booked in a jail, you know, through that process. I don't know if if he actually had to put on some jailhouse clothes or but booked in the I don't think it's jail. What was it? It's the county. They call it a county jail, but I don't think it's the same as like a like for example DC jail. I think it's just lockup. It's just booking, which in a city like DC or in most cities is just you got your own clothes on, you are going through the process of being booked and then released, depending on what your crime is. How serious your crime is, yeah, and how much a danger you are supposedly to society. So in this case, they don't deem him to be that great of a danger to society because he's out. He's out, but he got booked. So I think that changes the arguments about what can and what can't happen to an ex-president. Because before this day, people would have to say it is a president wouldn't even really get this far. I think 2 seconds. Okay, let me check out what is this. Okay, yeah, and so I think there's some president there. He's been booked, but this time they took the picture, so he got the full booking process this time. He got the photograph. He just got the book. He's never gotten that before. Before there was a difference. They didn't want to take a mug shot. I don't know how much of a difference it makes, but in my view, the full booking process means that it's less. It's harder to make an argument that this dude can't be tried like anybody else, and actually go through the process. Now there's a lot of convicts that get treated differently. People that get convicted of crimes, they get treated differently. I mean, depending on their type of crime, and that's definitely possible. But arrest or not, some type of arrest is possible, and because that's what's happened. When you get booked, you're arrested, and some type of jail or some type of penalty, which is going to separate you from the rest of from the normal life you've been living in society, is possible to happen. But in any case, anybody want to step up? David, you said the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Free Trump. Yeah, and there's a lot of people, I don't know if you mean that or not, but there's a lot of people that in some way, well, I don't know how many, so I can't say what the percentage is, but if you're on social media, you will see at least a small percentage of persons from many backgrounds that support Trump. You'll see some Latinos, you'll see some African Americans, you'll see some European Americans or white Americans, right, supporting Trump to some degree. And that's even them. I don't know how big of each group that is, but there's a big enough group to hear, you could say, to hear their voices with. And a lot of people are dissatisfied with, in my view, like American politics in general, for different reasons. A lot of people are distrusting of the government, and also even you hear a lot of African Americans just hold an issue with sticking to one party, and no matter what, they're going to support the smaller or less likely person just to make a point, you could say, or the alternative party just to make a point. And that's all happening, so I hear that. African Americans don't necessarily always agree with the Democratic Party. Largely they turn out to vote for the Democratic Party, like a lot of people do, but it doesn't always mean they agree 100% with the Democratic Party. No. And it's a lot of groups that don't, but we'll see how that turns out this time. Yeah, then let me see. There was also It's only a matter of time before we have a fresh mug shot of scam chatter. Yo, I was also thinking a similar thing. I mean, Trump gaslights a lot. Trump gaslights and Cheddar gaslights a lot. He do something, and then when you call him on it, he goes out and starts talking like he was the person that called himself on it. He echoes the same arguments back out to the people that he already, you could say, exposed to some negative, right? So that is to say, like, Donald Trump, he goes out and talks about they trying to steal an election, and everybody's told him, man, where's the evidence? I mean, and you have to admit, at this point, nobody that matters from any court in the country is saying there's any evidence. The Republican judges are saying no evidence. The Republican jury is saying no evidence. The Republican, everybody that supported Trump, I mean, pretty much that matters when it comes to the stolen election thing, they're not there. So we're gonna see how much that works out. But on the contrary, what's being made against him is people are making a case that he tried to steal the election. So somebody's got to be wrong. And in this case, it's pretty much looking like Donald Trump is the one that's wrong, either that or everything is against him. Even Republicans that were saying Trump, even his vice president who he chose, with all these people he chose, also witnesses against him or coming out and speaking out against him, even if they're not witnesses. I mean, look, the director of the Justice Department, appointed by Trump, he came out later. He's not a witness, but he came out publicly and he said no, he doesn't agree with certain things. So there's a lot of that in Trump world where people turning in on him, So in that case, folks, I just wanted to say what's up and cover this. I found it relevant because just on the basis that we don't get a lot of political talk in the conscious community. I believe like politics is like culture. It's like, it's like, religion. It's like all aspect. It's another aspect to society that's useful to observe and to weigh in on from time to time. So I just wanted to weigh in on that fact. So Trump is elected. Whether we agree with it or not, that's up to you. I say, yeah, block his ass up. I mean, it's just a booking. I've been booked before. Most of us have gone downtown to booking. What's it gonna hurt that Trump been booked? I mean, and on top of that, I'm not a billionaire. And on top of that, I didn't go out on camera and say send the Central Park 5 to kill them. I didn't order, I didn't say I wish the Central Park 5 were dead and they turned out to be innocent. That's Donald Trump. It's a lot of reasons why Donald Trump is pretty much a lowlife. So I'm not crying over him getting booked. And no revolution hinges upon one individual. So if there's other people that believe in Donald Trump or believe that what he's saying is correct, then stand up and fight. And all it's going to come down to is how many of you stand up and fight versus how many of you are fighting against and going on the other side. But if you really believe in him, then fight. And if you don't, then drop it. I don't believe in Trump, so I ain't going out fighting for him. I think technically the Republican Party got outmaneuvered by the Democratic Party, and the making of that has been like a decade now. So, they're really intellectually outmaneuvered. And I just blame the Republican Party for that. I don't blame the Dems. Nobody is that good to kick the Republican Party in the ass, except the Republican Party. And it will be the same with the Democratic Party too. Sometimes they make mistakes, but when you make mistakes as a political party, at some point you have to adjust the mistake, or you or you pay the ultimate price. And I don't see the Republican Party as one that's really doing that, you know. So to me, they're just in shambles. So, any case, y'all, that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to drop the link just for the case if anybody want to jump up. It's not too many people on it. That's all good. Yo, Donnie. Also, I don't know if you jump up and put your email in the back chat, right? Nobody can see that, and I could shoot you an email with that track, yo. It's so hot, man. Indeed. But it's an old track, and I got that track, that recording off of the internet over 10 years ago, man. Something like that, maybe 10 years ago or 5 years ago, something like that. It was a long time ago, and you know how it is. If the songs aren't copywritten or something, then it's not a lot of space for it to stay up on the internet anymore. But some of the songs do, but this one is nowhere. Peace, bro. VB. Yeah. What's up, West Side Rider? Yo, bro. Peace to you also. Thanks for coming through. Yeah, I was just giving my little 2 cents on Donald Trump. I mean, I'm not really I'm not a hater of any particular party. You know, I'm a member of the Democratic Party myself, but I'm not so blind that I don't have room for criticism. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I think criticism is good, but I think we need to be rational. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. Like, for example, people talk about the Democratic Party doesn't maybe overtly support reparations yet. We talk about certain party members that haven't supported reparations, and some of them even spoke out. I don't even know if Obama maybe at one time even said he may not support reparations. Who knows? But I know one thing for sure. I don't hear the Republican Party talking about reparations for African Americans. And so if I'm going to criticize the Democrats, then I'm going to criticize the Republicans for the same thing if they don't do it. But having said that, I'm going to be, wise in who I vote for. And I don't vote for party myself. I vote for the persons that I think will do the job best. And yeah. But having said that, I do believe that a lot of the voice from some of the Republican Party, like, don't get me wrong, I believe that some of the voices you hear about immigration are justified. I believe that myself. I believe they're justified. And I don't see that as a Republican Democrat issue. I think immigration needs to be just an issue that all Americans think about, like all citizens of other countries think about. It shouldn't be Republican or Dems. And I also think reparations shouldn't be Republicans or Dems. I think it should be every party issue. Should be talking about it. Yeah. So having said that, I hope I simplify some of my views. But on this note, Trump has been arrested. He's had a mugshot now, so that's another type of precedent, which wasn't before. And as an ex-president being arrested, he sets a precedent. And now it's another one being made where he, had his photograph taken. And this is the one where he is, I believe there's one. Actually, I need to go back and look at these details. But out of all the cases against Trump, there's some of them are conspiracies. And then there's one case that's actually just his alone. And that case right there is the case they say he's most fearful of, because it can't be delayed so far away from he's old, so he could delay probably enough time to plead sick and say he's too sick to go to jail. And in my case, my prediction is that is what Donald Trump will ultimately do. He will be found guilty of a lot, but he may not serve jail time because he's going to say he's sick. That's what I think is going to happen. I mean, really sick, some kind of sickness. That's my prediction. So on that note, I'm out, y'all. If y'all, and of course, on any show, when we're talking about any issue, we can change the topic and we can bring up other things. So we have another chance. Everybody gonna have another chance to talk about this one again if they like. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace to you. I got to get on with the rest of my day, but I just wanted to chime in on that. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Let me open wide. Yours. Play, baby, play. Hey, take my money, Eric.